The object of Taxi Chronicles is to allow real riders with real stories share their experience and enhance your life. So sit back and enjoy the journey. Morning. Yes, we're back with another episode, another rider. Today we have a lovely lady. She's all the way from Barcelona. She's a lovely lady. Her cheeks are a bit rosy. She's happy. She's jolly. She's directing her own movie as the same way she's doing editing for us freelancers for other movies. It's the one and only Charlotte. Charlotte, nice to have you here today.
Hey, nice to be here, Simon.
Okay, that's good. So tell us, Charlotte, why the film industry? What is it that you love about it?
Well, I don't think I love the film industry, but I like the filmmaking process.
Okay, same thing in the layman's terms, but...
Well, you know what I mean? Like, the industry is, I don't really know much about it, and it's probably quite complex, and there are probably lots of things about it that are quite difficult.
It's just simple, right? Talk about it as you know it.
As well as it, well,
because you clearly love certain elements of making movies and directing.
Totally.
What made you feel? Let me ask this question.
Okay.
Why did you go into editing?
So I didn't go into editing. I went into directing and writing. I was out in Barcelona with my editor, sitting next to him, and basically doing it together. But I actually really wanted somebody else to edit the film, so it was like fresh eyes, and get a completely new spin on this idea that I've been carrying around in my head for a really long time, and make it fresh again, and that happened.
So you're bringing it to life.
Trying to.
Well, you are, aren't you?
Yeah, we're nearly there.
Don't be so modest.
I'm not being modest. I'm just not tempting fate.
No, it's not about no, because you're talking about what you're doing, and what you're doing right now is bringing something to life.
Yeah, no, totally. It's true, massively.
So, what's this film about?
Film is about a breakup between a couple, but it's quite a toxic relationship, and it's pretty ambiguous as to like who is the kind of goodie and baddie of the situation, and it's actually pretty ambiguous as to what's going on. For the film is about 20 minutes, and for about like maybe the whole of it, you're like, what the hell is happening? Because it's a surrealist film.
Is it based in England or Spain?
It's very much based in England, yeah. Yeah, it's set in England.
Okay. Now, it sounds true to life, because in a relationship going sideways, it's usually no one person's all to blame.
Totally. And I suppose it's also quite ambiguous in the film, because the main character is the female, and you follow it through her eyes, so to speak, and yet I would kind of say that she is kind of the baddie, and yet as the viewer you're with her, so you're kind of with the baddie in the breakup, and seeing the baddie then get really sad when the other person actually escapes and kind of moves on with their life. But it is more ambiguous. It is more ambiguous than, you're right, in a relationship things are ambiguous, but maybe my central character's a tiny bit crazy.
Now, what inspired you to do that storyline? Is it from someone's experience that you know?
I mean, totally. It's all from my own experience, I think.
You're not the baddie. Tell me you're not a baddie.
No, I'm not. I'm not. But you know, like, I think I didn't know as I was writing it, like why I was writing it or how I was writing it or what the hell was going on, and then I became really excited by the fact that I wrote it from, in my mind, the other person's perspective, and I don't know if that felt really weird and cool, and like, I don't know. It's all part of the healing process, you know.
Right, yeah. Okay, that's good. That's deep. So when you went to, I take it you went to university.
I did.
What did you study at uni?
I studied English.
English. Is it English lit, as they call it? Lit,
yeah.
Or literature? How did you find that?
I think I really enjoyed it. I'm not good at writing essays, so I struggled. I didn't like that.
Did you get a 2-1 or 2-2?
I got a 2-1, but just...
It doesn't matter. I got a 2-3. and I enjoyed my subject, but I just wasn't good at it at all.
Yeah, but the thing is that I did English Lit, but I ended up liking the film modules.
Yeah.
So it was
It's part of
kinda-
English, isn't it?
It totally
It's
is.
probably the most popular way we communicate.
Totally. Yeah, you're right.
What kind of child were you when you were at school? Were
Probably-
you introvert, extrovert?
Extrovert with like a whole dose of introvert.
So
There must be a middle ground.
Yeah, there is. There's a,
ambivert or something.
That's you took the words out of my mouth.
Polyvert.
Yeah. So you depending on your your environment around you is how you.
Totally.
But you're good at both.
Yeah, I think I'm an extrovert, but I'm a closed extrovert.
Okay. What have you learned about the film industry? And when I say film industry, just to clarify, as a layman, it's everything that you wish you knew when you had started.
Oh. To be honest, it's not a very good answer to you, but I don't think I'm glad I didn't know anything when I started. I think that was really helpful. I think if I'd known anything, I wouldn't have done what I'm doing now. Like, I think, not in a bad way, meaning like it was just really important just to be able to go into it like slightly like in complete ignorance, and it meant that I was learning as I went, and that felt like the best way to do it. Rather than be nervous that I was following some rule book or doing this thing right or being extra cautious about something, I just had to kind of deal with everything as it happened, and that felt like fine. I could just, so yeah, I don't really wish I'd known anything about. I don't really. Yeah, I think it was good that I knew nothing. Sometimes that's how you can take a good risk.
So you like the journey and the adventure.
Totally.
What would be your advice to a person who's coming into the industry? Did you give them any advice?
Yes. I don't know, depends. If they want to write and direct, just do it. I think my advice, it takes a long time. Like, don't expect it to happen overnight. Don't tell anyone about what you're doing. Just do it. And if you love it, you're doing the right thing. Trust your instincts. If you're making a film as a director, just trust your instincts and keep listening to them, and patience is key. It takes a lot of time, so try and enjoy the journey, because it's going to be way longer than you expected, and there will be big highs, big lows, and just try to stay grounded in between. I imagine that the first time is really intense because you're having to learn it as you're doing it, but then maybe the next time you're going to know that like it's always really like, I don't know if you know the feeling of like when you like worked really intensely with something and then all of a sudden it just stops, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh my god, what's my life? It's like, I don't know. So like, be prepared to suddenly like, you're going to be super invested, and then you're going to crash, and then you have to like get back up again and start doing the next part of the process, and I don't know if that's good advice, but
no, it is. So what you're saying, like in a boxing term, if you get knocked down, you make sure you're ready to get back up.
Totally. And just because you're not actually knocked down, you just keep going. But
it's like a roller coaster.
It's like a total roller coaster.
You go ups and downs and twists and turns and sideways and loop the loop and going backwards.
Totally. You have to like
just enjoy
doing something high intensity like boxing or making a film, which is also really high intensity. Like if you're an emotional person and then you're like, oh my god, I'm living all of this, it's a nightmare.
Would you say you're an emotional person? You're a happy person, that's
very
for sure.
Very happy person. But yeah, I'm definitely like more governed by my emotions than by like my organisational skills or my my like rationalness.
Well, we need people like you, because you people are the creative people. If you think of all the artists, from the actors to singers, they're all very creative and they're all highly emotional.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where you got logical people like me who are just more black, white. There's no grey.
No.
And just go forward and think. So.
We need each other.
Yeah, it's a balance. It's the yin and yang.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
I would build buildings and you would create the ambience.
Literally, and like, I'm really bad at doing, like, I'm creative, but I'm like really bad at doing things with like I can't draw, I can't paint, I'm really bad at doing things with my hand. I don't have the kind of patience, you know what I mean? Like the kind of, that's not the way.
Do you need patience to draw?
Well, maybe not. Maybe I just didn't.
You just need to
practice.
Yeah, well, it's not even practice, because as long as you like what you're doing and you find it stress relief and all those kind of things, that's just how you move forward.
It's true.
In those cases, I would have said.
Totally. Just do what you like. Do what you like.
Yeah, you see.
As much as possible in life.
And away you go.
Yeah.
In that respect.
Totally.
Mm-hmm.
So do what you like.
If you could do it all again, would you? And if your whole journey of life, would you? And if you would change anything, what would it be?
I would change things. 100%.
What would you change? And why?
I would change a few decisions in my life, because if I had done something different, and they weren't really choices, I don't think I had a choice at the time to make the decisions that I made. It was, you know, when you're young, you don't really have many, you're not really able to make adult informed choices, you know, so it's a little more impulsive and it's a little more, you know. But what I'm trying to say is, if I could change I would change a few things, because I think it would just have maybe saved me a lot of time, unnecessary amount of time, being isolated and unhappy.
What are those things?
They're quite intense and they're quite personal.
Okay.
And I feel it's not, your listeners don't even need to know, you know? Like,
okay, no, fair enough.
I feel like they all, I don't know, everyone has, I don't know, and some people don't, maybe some people in life don't have, like, I used to think that I wouldn't change a thing. But I know now that I would change things.
Those things that you would change have shaped who you are today.
It's true.
So if you removed that, even the longevity of those situations, you still may not be that same person you are today. It's a bit like lockdown. People complain about lockdown, but a lot of people now, probably most of the planet, or the people in the Western countries who are actually locked down, appreciate freedom.
True.
They appreciate the fact that they need to live life for the moment. So I would argue, from a driver's point of view, as a taxi, there's more people out there now trying to live for the moment. That's why the airports are full. That's why Thursday night, Saturday night, everybody's out. Everybody's out. Yeah. And then people have turned around and changed jobs.
Yeah.
All those things. So reverting back to your experiences.
I changed job because of COVID. I started the film with COVID.
You see?
Yeah.
So it's all part of the journey.
It's true.
Even though you had that long spell of what you may have not liked, whether you see it as wasting time or whatever, it's part of your journey of life.
I think so, but I also feel like it meant so many of my most important relationships between people, like I wasted time with them, and that just feels like a shame. I don't know.
Go on, I'm listening.
You know, that for me, like I think, do you know what? I think maybe sometimes, like, it's true, I wouldn't have made this film, but I maybe would have made a different one. I don't know. It was just, I don't know.
Have you considered that meeting people, obviously reads and sees in a lifetime, it's not just about you. So you may have given those people something in life that they needed to get through.
Damn it. Okay, that's
as well as you gaining something. So their journey could have been shorter, but then they may not have got what they needed. And in the essence, they may have been able to help other people from your experience of knowing you.
I'm totally like with you in terms of like, I don't know, I definitely, like, I know that humans, we try and see and create meaning from the randomness of life and that's one way of seeing, it's arguably we just do that like in our brains, like psychologically, and whether there are other forces involved, like who knows. But I do like to walk around because I think I sleep easier at night with the feeling that everything happens for a reason, like completely. And so in that sense, totally. And you're so right. Like you are right. but I still do. Like, I do think I'm also a risk taker. If someone gave me the red pill to be like, change it, I'd be like, all right, let's do it. See what happens, and see something new. And I don't know, I like the idea that there are many possibilities and there isn't just one right way. So therefore, like, you could go left, you could go right, but you might end up at the same place. And like, all the different possibilities can have like nice or interesting or valuable outcomes. Maybe I like the idea that, I don't know, I like to even think of like multiple dimensions. I don't think about it much, but I just like think it's cool to think that like somewhere else, like the film has a different ending, and somewhere else, like maybe we're still together, or somewhere else we never met, and that's cool to think about. I don't know, it sounds like freedom to me.
What does the future hold for Charlotte?
Moving back to Barcelona.
Okay, to do what?
To live in a place where you can walk everywhere and it's sunny, and I can learn another language and go to the sea, which I didn't actually do when I was there, and work, obviously, but work in a culture that also really values, like, I don't know, values also like living really well.
Okay. You love the Mediterranean lifestyle.
I do.
Okay. Well, we're coming to the end of the journey.
We are.
It's been a very heartfelt journey. What's the name of your movie?
No.
You don't know? Okay.
No one could. I don't want to be traced.
Okay. Well, I was going to say, where can people find you? But that clearly gone out the window. Well, thanks a lot for that, and we wish you well.
Cheers. Thanks so much.
And thanks to our lovely lady there, our anonymous lady. And what we shall do, don't forget to listen to our sister podcast, Africa Investor Stories, where we talk to investors from around the world who have invested in Africa, and they give you the real 411 of what it's like to be an investor in Africa. Apart from that, have a nice day, and we wish you well. We hope that episode enhanced your life. We post an interview every day, as well as vlogging on our social media channels. Don't forget to subscribe to get our latest episode.